Hello Scorpio, Turquoise Tarot here with your reading for 16. I'm going to be doing this similar to what I did last month. There's going to be 3 separate spreads. The first reading is going to be a general reading, and then I'm going to do a separate spread for single Scorpios, and then a couples spread for Scorpio. I am having some specials going on. If you're interested in a private reading, I'll be posting a website in the information box below this video. If you go to my home page and scroll to the bottom, I'll have special prices there on the right hand side. So if you're interested, please come check it out. I'll be happy to provide you with a private reading. Without further ado, let me continue to shuffle. I have shuffled a bit off camera, and I'll go ahead and continue here. I just want to say thank you to everyone, and I appreciate all your love, comments, and your positive feedback and encouragement. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm just going to be quiet here for a moment while I concentrate and shuffle. Card flew out. We have the Alchemist, the Magician. Give me just a moment. Jeez, cards are flying out for you guys. We have the 5 of Wands. These cards are like really, really hard to shuffle. They just stick together. To happen. Prince of Wands, Prince of Cups, Judgment, Ace of Wands, King of Cups. You're coming up in the center of the reading, Scorpio. Ace of Pentacles, the Star card, the Tower, and the Empress. At the bottom of the deck, I have the Moon. Okay, Scorpio. Let's see what we have here. Give me just a moment. I'm just going to look this over. I think it's interesting that at the very top of the reading, we have 2 knights. The Knight of Wands and the Knight of Cups, and they're opposing one another. They're facing opposite directions, and the card right after that is Judgment, which talks about a rebirth or a new way of being, a new way of seeing things, a new sense of reality. It's coming into a new phase. It does come after the Death card, and the Death card's all about endings and transformation, and so Judgment comes in after death to bring about new life. So the Knight of Wands, both these knights are energy, okay? Pull them up here so you can see what I'm looking at. So the Prince of Wands and the Prince of Cups, they're both knights. And the Knight of Wands is a very passionate energy. He's a fiery energy. It's all about your passion and your drive and your motivation, your inspiration, what ignites that within you and pushes you in a certain direction. This is also about, your energy in this spread, along with the Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups is all about how things inspire you emotionally, what emotionally pulls at you or draws you in, what ignites your emotions, what inspires you in an emotional sense. So these 2 cards are tying in together, but they're opposing one another. So it's like you have conflicting thoughts or feelings. It's almost like there's a situation where you feel like it's lacking passion, but emotionally you're still kind of invested in it. This can also be saying, however, that there's a passion or a drive for you to leave a situation where you have invested yourself emotionally. And whatever this conflict is within you, and we have it here with the Five of Swords too. I feel like this is internal conflict. You're battling with yourself, trying to decide what is the best way to move about in this situation. You know, do you follow your passions? Do you follow your drive? Do you follow what excites you and inspires you, or the lack of that? Or do you stay committed because you're emotionally invested? Another thing I want to say too is you may feel like there's strong passion in a situation, but emotionally you're just not there. It's one of the two. And this Judgment card is saying that there's a rebirth of some kind. There's a new awakening that's taking place, and you're again coming into a new reality, a new understanding of this internal conflict that you've been dealing with. And because of this, we have the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is about new passion, new drive, new excitement, something that inspires and motivates you in a new way. And I feel it comes about because of this rebirth, this understanding of reality in a new sense. And underneath this Ace of Wands, we have the Star card. And this is all about wishes being fulfilled. It's all about wishing upon a star, your wish being granted. It's all about hope and having hope in a situation. So whenever this rebirth happens, this new understanding, I feel like what it really is representing is the beginning of the month, you have these conflicting feelings and thoughts and energies, and you're not sure how to go about creating what it is you truly desire, with the alchemist here, which is the Magician in the Rider-Waite. But you know that you have what information, what resources you need. This alchemist, you can see he's analyzing the cups, the pentacles, the sword, the wand. So it's like you're evaluating your passions, your knowledge of a situation, you're looking at finances, or you're looking at how it materially affects your world, and also your emotions and how your emotions are impacted in the situation, and you're analyzing it. But at the beginning of the month, you're dealing with some conflict about it, and there's a new awareness that takes place. I want to say, honestly, I'm feeling like this is going to take place in the beginning of the month, probably around the new moon. And when you get this new understanding, there's this new set of passion that's instilled within you, because you're seeing things clearly now. And so now you have a new, fresh understanding and clarity about a situation, and it's motivating you and inspiring you to move forward. Okay? And it brings about hope for you in a situation. This can be work, this can be love, it's different for everyone. Okay? You're coming up in the center of the reading as the King of Cups. And on opposing sides of the King of Cups, we have that Ace of Wands, and then we have the Ace of Pentacles. So when this clarity comes, it brings about a lot of changes in your life. And these changes are ultimately very positive for you. Okay? Because you're getting a new, fresh start regarding your passions, regarding your desires, but also physically with this Ace of Pentacles. it's a new beginning. It's a new day. It's like now you know this is where I want to invest myself. This is what I want to do. This is where I want to go. You're no longer conflicted because on either opposing side of you, you have new beginning here with the Ace of Wands and Ace of Pentacles. So it's very promising. Underneath the King of Cups, of course, we have the Tower. And like I try to explain in a lot of the readings, all the cards are neutral, so the Tower isn't always a bad card. It's just something, it's saying that some type of clarity, insight, or a situation that comes about that shakes things to the foundation. So it's understanding your reality in a new way. It's allowing you, I feel like something was built on a faulty foundation and now it's crumbling down so that you can rebuild on a more solid foundation and build something that actually lasts through the test of time. So you're wanting to build something that has longevity, that has stability, that has a strong foundation. And in the beginning of the month, you're realizing that may not be where you're at presently. And this new awareness that comes about for you allows you to create this new beginning for you, and it gives you hope so that you can rebuild something. You may be letting go of something. You may be letting go of a job or a relationship, or you just may be moving home even, or you may just suddenly decide this month, I need to make some drastic changes. If I want things to be the way I want them to be, I need to make some drastic changes here. After the Tower, we have the Empress, and the Empress is the mother of the tarot. She also can represent a loving, doting woman that's in your life, because this symbol here represents Venus, represents the planet of love, right? So this is also, I believe it's the Libra card. So some of you be dealing with a Libra. And this is someone in your life that may be coming in towards the end of the month that you find this new awakening with, or this new beginning with. This can also be a mother. So it can be a mother for you, or it could be your mother, or it could be someone that you look up to in that way, a female. It can also be your partner if you're married, your wife, or it can be the mother of your children, or if this is you, the Empress, because you can be coming up twice here. It can be you represented here as well, if you're a female Scorpio. And it's saying here that some of you find you're pregnant by the end of the month, and that's the shocking news. And that's what makes you want to, it's like this new awakening, this new beginning that takes place for you. But I'm going to pull some clarifying cards on that. It can be different for everyone, but this Empress mainly is here to help. She's here to help a situation. If it's not about pregnancy, it's about her wanting to come in and help a situation where maybe, she's realizing, okay, you are creating something new here. Things are changing, and I want to come in and help you in this situation. The Moon card is all about secrets. It's all about hidden intentions or hidden motivations. It also talks about our fears, self-illusionment. So I feel like this is talking about, for you particularly, the full moon. So we have, at the beginning of the month with the new moon, we have this clarity coming about, and by the full moon, we're making the changes, the drastic changes that need to happen. You're the alchemist, so you have the tools at your disposal, and you're using those tools to create the environment in which you wish to see. Okay? Let's pull some oracle cards on this, and we'll get more clarity. Oh, excuse me, I'm dropping cards. I'm going to pull some on the Tower, but I just want to reiterate, this is a general reading, so this Tower situation will be different, a little different for everyone, but hopefully If we can get some clarifying cards on here, we can get more information on it. Okay. So again, there's some clarity being brought about in a situation where you'd be missing someone from the past, or you'd be reminiscing on someone from the past, and you have some regret because you've been lying to this person, or you have lied to this person, and now you're realizing maybe that wasn't the best thing to do. But this can go the other way too. This can go in the way that this person be missing you, and they're realizing that they didn't treat you right, or they didn't treat you fairly. This can also be with a present partner. Some of you are reminiscing on the past, and you're looking at, present situations as they're not as, there's some falseness or deception there. That's what this card is all about. And there's some sadness associated with this. So there's some type of revelation coming to light here, but I feel that you're going to be very powerful this month, and you're going to be able to come out of this situation, whatever it may be, because you do have hope. You do have hope, and you also have the Empress here. And another thing about the Empress is she talks about things coming to fruition, things that maybe you've been working on, that have been challenging for you in the past. Things are finally coming to fruition for you. I want to look at this Moon card. Let's look at the Moon. Okay. So for some of you, there's this fear about a partner, a sweetheart. Maybe there's some self-illusionment going on about this partner and their intentions, because you thought that they were honest, but then you're finding out they haven't been honest with you. Okay? And so you're needing to say goodbye to that relationship. And that's the Tower situation. Because we have the Death card here as well. So it's like the ending of this relationship. It's like maybe fears being, coming to fruition. I know this is a general reading, but these are the cards that are coming up. And the other card, the last card I pulled on that Moon card, is the House. So it can be an ending of a relationship where someone moves home, or this is just representing your fears that this person that you love is going to end the relationship, or that you will have to end a relationship, and you're worried about the stability and security that you two have created together. And the Moon talks about, secrets too. So it'd be a hidden fear that you're not sharing. And that can be where this conflicting energy is coming in at the beginning of the month. Let's look at the Empress. So you have been planning some type of marriage, or you are married. Or if this isn't regarding love for you personally, this can be talking about some type of contract or agreement that you have had with this Empress. And there's been merriment and joy. But then there's a change that comes about with this person. Let's look at these aces. I want to look at the Ace of Pentacles first. So I feel like by this month is about releasing something to gain something. Because there had to have been, maybe last month you had to let something go, or this month you may need to let something go, and you may be sad about it, but the Judgment card is saying you're on the right path, you're on a new journey, you're beginning a new phase in your life. It's a new beginning, it's a reawakening in a new life. And so underneath that Judgment card with the Ace of Pentacles, we have this is the Tower card in this situation. This is the Tower card in this deck. And it talks about, just a sudden event or news or situation that was unexpected that comes about. But it's a fortunate thing. You're getting communication or messages, and you can see that this messenger is dropping coins and letters, but it's positive news, it's good news. So whatever, and especially with this being on the Ace of Pentacles, whatever this drastic change that comes about it's for your betterment. And I feel like you're going to be putting a lot of thought and consideration into this, and you're going to realize this is what I need to do to have a new beginning. This is the clarity that comes in for you. So where once there was confusion, self-illusionment, doubt, fear, this rebirth is calling it out to you and saying, no, this is what you need to do, and you make the changes necessary that you need to make. Let's look at the Ace of Wands. Okay, so the Ace of Wands, it represents passion, right? Because it's all about fire energy. It's all about creativity. It's all about things being born in a very, in the sense that it's a passionate new beginning, in a sense. Passion can go either way. Remember that these cards are neutral cards. So passion can be excitement, adventure, charisma, all those positive attributes that we associate with passion. Passion can also be anger, or it can be jealousy, or it can be resentment. We feel passionate when we have those kinds of negative feelings as well. So on this Ace of Wands, I have the Priest. So this can talk about integrity. Maybe you're questioning someone's integrity. You're questioning whether or not they're being genuine, which we see with the falseness card as well in this Tower. This can also represent that maybe this is a marriage, or there was a plan for marriage, but there's some jealousy, there's some deception here. Again, we have the falseness card. So you're understanding that there's something that wasn't true or genuine. It doesn't have to be cheating per se, even though that's what it appears to be in this card. It can very well be that for some of you, but for some of you it just be you're realizing that the integrity of this person isn't what you wanted it or thought it was, and it's igniting this passion in you where there's maybe some anger or some frustration, and it's regarding a lover. It can be another lover that comes in, or it can be you as the lover and you're questioning this person. As I look at this, I can also see that for some of you, this may be a situation where this is like you and your partner are opposing one another. You're the Knight of Cups and your partner's the Knight of Wands. This is a fiery energy. Being that they're both knights, it can say that this relationship has a level of, not to say you're immature or what have you, but there's just a sense of immaturity in the relationship as a whole, because we're not dealing with kings and queens here, or the emperor and the empress. We're dealing with two knights. So these are fast moving energies. They come and go. They're here one day and they're gone the next. So it's like you wanted something where there was longevity and there was stability. You wanted something with a strong foundation, but you're not getting that in this partnership. This can also, for some of you be a business situation where there was, someone that you relied on and depended upon, and you're realizing now that's not the case. This person, there's more shallowness to this relationship than what you had anticipated or expected and wanted. But I'm sorry, I'm jumping here. Let me go back to my initial thought with these two knights. With the Ace of Wands here talking about jealousy and the Lover, this can say that this lover of yours, because this card, the Prince of Wands, he's exiting the spread. He's leaving. So it can be that your partner in the past has done something with a lover and you're now catching them in this lie. And this isn't for all of you. So again, this is a general reading, okay? This isn't going to apply to everyone. But this month is a very, it's a month of change. But remember, we have the Star card here, and I just feel like this is meant to happen so that you can be on the path you're meant to be on. Whatever this is, you're meant to go on a new path in a new direction. You're moving towards judgment. You're moving towards rebirth. So it can be you're realizing that whatever the situation is, whoever this person is to you, they're not serving you. They're not serving your higher good. And you're wanting to manifest, because you have the Alchemist here, you're wanting to manifest a relationship that has stability, or a situation or a home environment that has stability. And so you're moving on and you're creating a new life for yourself. And it's beautiful, you have the Aces here, you have the Alchemist here, you have the Star card here. So there's a lot of hope. And I feel like the cards are saying, you need to retain that sense of hope. You need to trust that you're on the right path. Okay? So, with that being said, I'm going to move on to the single Scorpio reading. Please don't shoot the messenger, guys. I'm just reading the cards. Sorry. But it's for your higher good to let go of something that, if truth isn't there, and if you don't have truth and trust in a relationship, then what do you got, really? Or in a work partnership, or whatever the situation, or how it applies to you, you need that. That's foundational in all of our relationships with other people. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to be using a different deck, actually, for the love readings. Let me just grab these cards. Okay, so let me just shuffle here. Sorry if the camera shakes. Okay, Queen of Cups popped out. That's you, Scorpio. You have the Three of Wands that popped out. Set those aside. of Pentacles. All right. We have the Eight of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, two knights opposing each other again. This is crazy. King of Pentacles, Ten of Rods, Eight of Rods, and the Five of Pentacles. The bottom of the deck, we have the Ten of Cups. All right, let's see how this all comes together. Let me just look over this spread for a moment. Take a drink, sorry about that. It's interesting because we have the King of Pentacles and we have the Queen of Wands. Maybe you single Scorpios, in the beginning of the month, you're very focused on your work. You're very focused on your day-to-day tasks. You're not really focused on finding love the beginning of this month. You may be more focused on learning or understanding or acquiring more wealth, because you're wanting to build a stronger financial home for yourself, a stronger financial foundation, because we have the Eight of Pentacles and we have the Knight of Pentacles right underneath each other. So it's like you're working very diligently at the beginning of the month to create wealth for yourself, and you're wanting to invest yourself wisely, and you're looking at some opportunities that may be presented to you at the beginning of the month, and you're trying to decide whether or not you want to invest yourself in this. The Knight of Pentacles, he's a slower moving energy. He takes his time because he has this one pentacle and he wants to invest it wisely. So you're looking at your wealth, you're looking at what you've acquired thus far, or you're working on acquiring wealth, and then you're asking yourself, how do I want to invest this so I can multiply it? How can I use my wealth wisely instead of maybe frivolous spending? And I feel like, finance will be on your mind, especially at the beginning of the month, because you're feeling a bit overburdened. Even in a work environment, you'd be feeling overwhelmed. Maybe you're working a lot of overtime, or they're asking you to work on projects that, have specific deadlines, and you're finding it challenging to meet those deadlines. You're just feeling overwhelmed. The Queen of Wands, she is a fire sign typically. That's a Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. But, especially for these general readings, I like to focus on the characteristics of these court cards. I think I've said that before in other readings if you've watched me before. But the Queen of Wands is someone that she's very fiery, she's very passionate, she's very outgoing, she's very magnetic because she's physically very attractive. She's a beautiful woman, but also she's very charming, and she draws people in with her charm. And so for some of you, I feel that this Queen of Wands may be how others are perceiving you this month. People are finding you highly attractive and magnetic. And because of that, there may be offers of love coming in with the Knight of Pentacles. This is in the center of the spread, this night. Sometimes what I like to say, especially in my private readings, is usually when there's a specific question, the answer comes up in the center, and the cards surrounding it kind of explain what's going on, why this card is up, and give it more of a story and more detail. So this Knight of Cups, being in the center, is saying a love offer is coming in this month. And it may be from an earth sign, maybe from a King of Pentacles. This is someone that is a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Again, focusing on the characteristics of the king, though. He's someone who's very stable, very grounded. He's someone who's good with his money. He's someone that knows how to invest wisely, but he's also very giving with his money. If you date this earth sign, Typically, there's someone who will spend lavishly on those that they love because they're all about acquiring wealth so that they can do for others and give to others. At least this King of Pentacles is that way. He's all about acquiring wealth so he can take care of his loved ones, his family, his friends, and make them feel secure. So if this is someone that you begin dating, you may find that they're buying you gifts, they're buying you flowers, they're treating you to expensive dinners or nights out, because that's how they express their love or their interest in someone. The Wheel of Fortune is sitting above that, which talks about, luck changing. So for you singles out there, because you're being found so magnetic and so attractive, your luck is changing and suitors are coming your way. Your love life is changing. Now, initially, you may not see this because you're so focused on your finances, you're so focused on money this month. But by the mid-month, you're going to be getting offers. Now, for you, I want to say for you male Scorpios, you single male Scorpios, you'd be coming up as the King of Pentacles here. And this Queen of Wands is attracted to you and making an offer of love to you, because she sees you as someone who's very stable and has something tangible to offer her. Tangible meaning you're just a grounded, stable person, and that's what she's looking for. She wants that security in a partner. The Eight of Wands underneath the Knight of Cups is very, very good. Typically, when we look at this card, we see unexpected, pleasant news that arrives suddenly. However, traditionally, this Eight of Wands represented new love coming in swiftly. So I feel like, being that this is under this Knight of Cups, it's saying this is going to happen quickly for you. This love offer is going to happen quickly. The Five of Pentacles here, I'm really feeling like underneath the King of Pentacles, it's saying that I feel like it's saying here, if you've been involved with either the fire sign in the past or the King of Pentacles in the past, you may have had unfinished business with this person. And this month, something's coming in, news is coming in, new love is coming in. You're like there's an offer there's one of you is offering love to one another. And you've been in this place where you've kind of doubted that, where you just felt like, you were left out in the cold by this person. But when this offer comes in, it's as if, we look at this Three of Wands that came out here, and it's as if your boats are coming in. It's like the news that you've been expecting is coming in. If you've been waiting to hear from this person, they're finally going to communicate with you. Also here with the Three of Pentacles, it talks about apprenticeship. It talks about working on something. It talks about learning new skills and learning some new things. So I feel that this is talking about, you're learning to work with this individual. You're learning how many threes do we have? We have these 2 threes. So together, these threes represent something of a highly spiritual nature. Maybe you've been waiting for this person to communicate with you, and that's why you've felt kind of left out in the cold in the past, but you're finally getting that offer that's coming in. And of course, the Queen of Cups here is representing you. The overall energy is the Ten of Cups. So this is happy home, happy family. This is, I feel for both of you, this is what you both want. You both want that longevity. You want that commitment. And you're finding that in one another. Let's take some oracle cards on this. I almost feel like you're so focused on work because this Knight is facing out, and then the Knight of Cups is facing the King of Pentacles. It's almost like you're so focused on work, you don't even see this coming in. It doesn't even faze you because you're so worried about carrying these wands. You're so worried about carrying this burden at the beginning of the month. But your load lightens because we go from the 10 to the 8, and you're just flinging those things away. So it's like you're letting them go. You're not going to be as burdened by mid-month. Let's look at the Five of Pentacles first. Okay, so this can be someone that you have been on and off with, or this could be someone that you thought things were over, they were long gone, and maybe you've been missing this person or thinking about this person, and you've been kind of trapped in your thoughts, unsure how to handle the situation, or stuck in your emotions because you're not sure how to move forward from this. But the Sweetheart card comes up. So I feel like there's like a reunion that would take place between you and this person. Let's look at the Knight of Cups. I also want to say with these 3 cards really quickly, if you've been single for some time and you've just felt like, you know, out in the cold, no one's interested, no one's knocking on your door, it's because you've been so focused on your past, and maybe you've been a bit pessimistic regarding relationships because of how things have turned out for you in the past, and you've been a prisoner of your own thoughts and limited thinking, okay? But love is coming in for you. The Sweetheart is here. So if you are female and you know that you're the Sweetheart, someone's finding you very highly attractive and interesting and wanting a romantic connection with you. If you're a male Scorpio, you find this attraction. Love is coming in for you this month. Let's look at Knight of Cups. Yeah. So this can be someone that's an old acquaintance or an old friend, someone that you've known from the past, okay? If it's not somebody that is from your past, this can be someone that you know, right away you have this instant connection where you feel like you've known this person for quite some time. And this offer of love comes in. This is the Merchant, which talks about contracts, agreements. So perhaps when this person comes and offers their love to you, and you know what? I just saw this. The Knight of Cups can be you offering your love to, yeah, I think I said that with the Queen of Wands. You'd be, if you're the female Scorpio, you're the attracted female. There's attraction here between this King of Pentacles and Queen of Wands. And I feel like if you're female, you're the Queen of Wands. If you're the male, you're the King of Pentacles. And I feel that it's going to be the Queen of Wands that's making the offer. Interesting. I'm sorry. I'll go back to that. With this one is a contract agreement, so it's saying here that there's a newfound agreement between you and this other person, because now you're recognizing this offer is coming in, and there's a true friendship here, there's a true connection here. What I was going to say, I was looking at this King of Pentacles, and he's looking up at the Queen of Cups. You know, for some of you single male Scorpios, there may be 2 people that you're interested in. There may be another water sign, and then there's a fire sign. And maybe that's why you're feeling a bit trapped. It's like there's someone you're going to have to walk away from, but I feel like you're more interested in the water sign because this King of Pentacles is looking up at the Queen of Cups. If you're the female Scorpio, you're coming up as the Queen of Wands, I believe, and the Queen of Cups. Or it may be that this male is interested in you and he's wanting to leave behind a Queen of Wands. Or she's interested in him, but he's not interested in her, and he's going to be making an offer to the Queen of Cups. Let's look at this Queen of Wands. I know, I'm sorry, that's so confusing, but it's a general reading, and so I'm reading for everyone. Queen of Wands, we have haughtiness, arrogance. Queen of Wands can very much be that, but this can also be showing genuine, our true colors, being genuine in a situation, okay? The enemy and the gift on the Queen of Wands. So this can be a situation where this person is showing their true colors now to this King of Pentacles, which would be the male Scorpio, and he's realizing, you know, this person, it doesn't really have what it is that I want. So he's walking away from that, and he's choosing to go for the Queen of Cups, which would be the female, you know, Scorpio. So then that's really what I think is coming through here, is that there's two women. There's two women. If you're the female Scorpio here, there'll be someone who's interested in you. And maybe you've been waiting for this person to come in, and they finally do. Excuse me. I'm sorry, I know that took a turn, right? Reading took a turn there, but I just noticed that with the King and the Queen of Cups. There was two females here. I don't know why I didn't see that earlier. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, hold on here. And, you know, this King of Pentacles here, like I said, these two knights, they're facing opposing directions. So if this male Scorpio has a commitment to someone, he'd be retracting his offer, because this knight is leaving the spread, and it's kind of difficult for him to do so. He's interested in this Scorpio female. Let's look at the Queen of Cups. Yes. So, Queen of Cups, we have the card of tact, irritability, but something also sexual. So there's a high physical chemistry between this King of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. Okay. And there'll be a reunion coming about. Now, this reunion card can also talk about new love. It's not always a reunion with an ex. So it's either someone that you haven't been physically, romantically involved with, but you find yourself involved with this person, or this can be someone from your past and there's still a strong physical connection between the two of you, and there's a reigniting of that passion in that relationship. And then we have the wife. So he is seeing this Queen of Cups as someone that there's a future with. I want to look at the Knight of Pentacles here. Yeah. So in the past, with this Queen of Wands, there was joyfulness, there was happiness, there was pleasant relationship. And he was the lover. But there's sorrow now, because he's retracting his offer from this Queen of Wands. Now, you can be the king, retracting your offer elsewhere, And you know, it's not that you have to be romantically involved with this queen, but perhaps you had more interest in this queen at one point, but you're seeing her true colors. And now you're not wanting to make a commitment to this person, even though in the past there was something pleasant in that relationship. It's no longer there. It's more of a burden. And now you're interested in someone else, and they're catching your eye. This can be an ex, or this can be someone that you just have a new interest in. Let's look finally at the Ten of Cups here, because that's the overall energy for the spread. Wow. We have the wife on the Queen of Cups, and then we have the wedding coming out on the Ten of Cups. So there's hope. So if you're the male Scorpio, you have hope at reigniting a relationship, or you have hope in this new relationship. You're soldiering on. You're walking away from something and moving towards something else. And there's strong potential here for a long-term commitment, okay, with this Queen of Cups. So if you're the Queen of Cups, just know that an ex-Earth partner, Earth sign partner, or someone who embodies the characteristics of that Earth sign may be coming back, or maybe a new lover too. You know, maybe a new lover that maybe you've had your eye on in the past, or they've certainly had their eye on you, and they're coming in for you, and it's going to be potential for a long-term relationship. Okay. So let's move on to the coupled Scorpios here. See what that's all about. I know this is like super long reading, and I appreciate you guys sticking around with me and listening to me. Come on, cards. Okay. So just coupled Scorpios. I'm not going to do that because I haven't even started shuffling, really. Seven of Pentacles. Okay, the Fool card fell out. All right. We have Strength, Four of Cups, the Sun, Eight of Wands, Eight of Swords, Nine of Cups, Knight of Cups, Ten of Cups, and the Magician. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Cups. Okay. So let's look this over. Give me just a second. Well, it's interesting because I see at the beginning of the month you'll be struggling with challenging emotions regarding your relationship. It's almost like you're dissatisfied or you're bored, and it's requiring great strength for you to maintain your sense of happiness or to stay interested in this relationship. Um, the Strength card also talks about taming our inner beast. So it talks about taming our anger or those emotions where we can act like the lion and just, bite people's heads off. It's about taming that inner beast. So I feel like that's something that you may be challenged to do the beginning of this month. And there's some boredom, there's some dissatisfaction in your relationship. It's almost like you want to say something, but you're afraid of angering that person or upsetting that person. And so you're kind of keeping it to yourself. But because you're doing that, you're coming up as, dissatisfied and just not happy with the present situation as it is. But then we have the Sun card, and the Sun card is all about happiness and joy, lightheartedness. This is also talking about clarity being brought in on a situation. So the sun sheds its light on the entire spread. And it's bringing light and it's bringing clarity. There's some pleasant news coming in regarding your relationship. It's like you've been waiting for something to happen, or you've been waiting for some news, possibly of, wanting a child, and you haven't been able to have children, and so you've been feeling kind of mentally stuck, unsure how to go about. It's like you've done everything you can, and now you're just dissatisfied with the results, and you just don't know how to move. You don't know what else to do. You don't know how else you can work on conceiving. You've done everything that you can think to do, working on your timing and so forth. And finally, this month, you find out you're pregnant. So for those of you where that is true, congratulations. We see that here with the Nine of Cups too, because in the Rider-Waite deck, there's children in this card, and it's a happy home life. It's a happy family where all their cups are filled. They're satisfied. They're content. And the Nine of Cups talks about wish fulfillment, which is sitting underneath the Sun card. So that would be a possibility for some of you. And the Magician is all about manifesting what it is we desire. So if this is something you've been desiring, you're now able to manifest it. And the Knight of Cups is all about the offer. It's all about some type of communication or news coming in that is pleasant, emotionally very pleasant for us. Okay. But for those of you where this is not concerning finding out news of pregnancy, I feel like there's just some unexpected pleasant news that comes in, and it gets you out of your funk. Because even like in the middle of the month, you may be feeling a bit trapped. You may be feeling like, I want to be able to make some changes, or I want to be able to communicate my thoughts and feelings to a partner, but I don't know how I can do that. Or you may be struggling with some insecurities in your relationship. You may be doubting something in your relationship. And clarity comes in. There's a fresh start here this month. There's some pleasant surprises that come about, and it brings about wish fulfillment with the Nine of Cups. After the Nine of Cups, Nine of Cups. After the Nine of Cups, we have the Knight of Cups. So again, there's some offer coming in that brings about some news that comes in, and it brings about a happy home life. Something very, very optimistic and positive and encouraging. The Magician, as the outcome card, is saying that this is something you've manifested for yourself. This is something you've been working on acquiring and creating for yourself. Now the Seven of Pentacles and the Fool card, to me, these two cards together, hold on, I'm sorry, I have to pick them up. They're talking about you've been analyzing things and how things have progressed thus far, and you're really questioning how you want to proceed in this relationship and where is it taking you. And for some of you, this can mean that you're so dissatisfied, you're deciding to move on. from this relationship and start anew. But I feel like for most of you, what this is talking about is you've been looking at how you've carried yourself in this relationship in the past, and you're deciding, you know what, that's just not good enough. I'm just not satisfied with the way things are. And you're starting anew, you're starting fresh. You're wanting a fresh beginning and a fresh start in this relationship. You just, for some reason, you haven't been pleasantly surprised. You haven't been happy with the way things were, and some changes are coming in this month, some pleasant news, some pleasant communication, or a pleasant situation that you decide, okay, you know, we're starting anew. For some of you, this will be a trip. Some of you will be taking a trip this month, and that's what really kind of gives you a fresh start in your relationship. The Eight of Cups talks about walking away from something that does not serve us anymore, okay? So this can be, you know, you're walking away from something because you realize, again, it's not serving you. This can be walking away from how things used to be. You're letting go of something from the past so that now you're not feeling this sense of boredom or a lack of commitment to your relationship, because you've had to walk away from something. It could be you're walking away from the way you handled yourself in the past in this relationship, or there could have been a past situation that you weren't happy with and you still weren't over it, but this month you're getting over it, and now you're able to have this fresh start with your partner. Let's see. I want to look at the Eight of Rods. Yeah, so there's some transformation that's taking place in your relationship, and it's bringing about newfound passion and sexual attraction here in your relationship, and you're feeling very grand. It's either you're feeling very grand if you're the male Scorpio, or if you're the female Scorpio, this is how your male counterpart is going to feel. They're going to feel very loved, very confident in this relationship, where maybe in the past they weren't so confident, but you're just bringing about a new sense of excitement in this partnership. Let's look at the Knight of Cups. Okay, so on the Knight of Cups, we have in the past, yes, there was some sorrow, there was some doubt in this relationship. But you're reconnecting and you're finding again those things that brought you together, your friendship, your, you know, what initially attracted you to one another. And you're staying consistent and you're persevering in this relationship. So it's like you're rekindling something here. Let's look at the Eight of Cups though. Yeah, so I feel like you're going to be walking away from something like a past argument or a dispute or something you've been holding on to from the past, because you're reuniting with your lover and you're recognizing them as the sweetheart, or they're recognizing you as the sweetheart. They're seeing what they initially saw in you in the beginning of the relationship. And there's newfound contracts or agreements, or you're rekindling your contract or agreement. So you're walking away, or I feel like it's you're walking away from some disappointment in the past, and you're now able to fully invest and enjoy this relationship. Let's look at the Eight of Swords here in the center. see what this, yep, you felt trapped because, in the past there had been some communication that you weren't too happy with, but now you're healing, you're mending your relationship, and you're having to say goodbye to that past, to something in the past. You have to let it go so that you can have your full attention on the present in your relationship. Okay? Now the last thing I'd like to do, and this is the Oracle of Visions deck, and I like to give one last overall message for Scorpios. This is for all the readings, so it's not just for couples or singles. And it may not even be pertaining to love, but it's just one last message. So let me just shuffle here for a moment. We'll see what messages are coming through. I'm feeling this card. Okay, it says knowledge, research, knowing the facts, being prepared and forewarned. Part of the process of assessing a situation is the use of intuition, and psychic gifts, but some circumstances merit a more analytic approach. Being better informed and armed with a greater understanding of the facts and background to any situation might provide a stronger basis from which you can make better decisions. It appears that the character in this scene has dedicated the necessary due diligence and is armed with a substantial amount of information. But therein is a question of how much may be too much. One can become overwhelmed and tied down in the detail, suffocated by the volume or unnecessary diversions, at the risk of overanalyzing and not seeing the forest through the trees. Okay, so that's your reading, Scorpio. 16. I hope you enjoyed it. I wish you much love and light and blessings, and I wish you a wonderful. Thank you. Bye.